We have to make the text to and be in different places. Well, that's one of the fix it. Just take off the earphones. So I don't have to hear myself. And put them somewhere where the mic can't reach them. Because then they won't squeal. That's pretty interesting. My crazy sound system. The solution was stupider than I thought. Alright, so text field 1 is the object of the text field. I have a text render object, and I have a text field object. The text renderer object creates the text, which is called Catch Text 2 class, but it's called text renderer class or something in the Kulo game engine, and the RTS engine it's called quad cache text. So they're both quad cache type objects. Basically, they render a bunch of quads and put sprites on them with right UV coordinates from the sprite map. And we have to just import it real quick and start working on the frustum for the selection and the building's triangular prism. And we need also cylinders, capsules for the soldiers. We kind of have rectangles, cubes from the raycast object. And moving forward, we just fix our multiplayer a little bit and try to get Steam networking sockets. Simple enough, but coding nightmare because we have to do a lot of things. So let's go to text field 1. We're going to need to replicate it twice, create some input, and be able to change it, show FPS, do a few little things, do a little housekeeping here. This is 11, right? So 11 is the latest for the quad cache text. Let's look up how field 1 is allocated. Okay, so it does have a change text when you press E key. The other ones should be fine, not instantiated because they're not being used. Let's press the E key and just see what happens. Okay, we have error. Why do we have error now? Oh, because we're running it. My sprite field really annoys me. But if I take another 3 hours just redefining it, I will go nuts. So I'll do that too. We have to take the hard route for everything. Our sprite field is defined inside a folder. So let's see. It's the RTS engine. It's not a tutorial. It's like, well, why are we here? It should be in this folder. Maybe it's not. I should know these folders by memory, but I can't remember everything. So it like deallocates the memory in my brain. Okay, scratch test projects. Oh wow, it's like just in some garbage folder. I have like 3 of these engine projects. At least the major ones. Basic barn. Okay, we need go into here. I believe I put them into some other folder, but I did make some other ones. Okay, let's just load up. Okay, we have a cube thing. I wonder where this is located. Oh, crap, it just sends me off into crap land. Soldier cube, okay. We can kind of refurbish some of this. What we need is a scratch. Okay. I need a transparent background, I think. Transparency works wonders. Alright. Because these sprites suck. And they're not... The problem with what they look like bad is that they are not square, they're rectangular. That's not too bad. Okay, what if we press E? It doesn't change anything. That's bad. Other stuff changes it. Okay, let's look at this again. Set of breakpoints, go into change text, set text. I have this working on Android, but I don't have it working on Visual Studio. Oh, genius. I had it working on the other things, but once you refactor code like this, shit happens. Yeah, this is where the change occurs. Because it loops through all the characters, and it sets it to this. Okay, so we're breaking point right in the right places here. Let's see, maybe it's not detecting E. But keep E. Okay, what's going on here? Yeah, so I found my LVM Mesa 3D project. I have it loaded somewhere just to show it off. And obviously, this is the monstrosity here. Yeah. That'll teach me Vulkan. And this is the LLVM project. This is just one subfolder. Alright, so upload to GPU, set text to 0. The GPU has not been initialized for this object. It doesn't keep calling it, good. You press F5 to continue. Okay, press E. Okay, it does call this. Okay, it passes this text in. It can update. Update. String length 50, good. And if it reaches a null, what happens? str length is 11. String length is 50. That's bad, but whatever. Okay, str length is being checked here. Front load font, that's not null. It looks like it's a valid object because of these things are defined. Field text 101 FPS. We get the character information, the coordinates and shit. We insert these coordinates with the hacky offsets for the map I made. We put the vertices in, and we never update them, right? This is the problem. And we assume the renderer will update it for us, right? Because, let's say we reach here. keeps going. No, what the fuck? How come we never hit? Okay, we hit here. We hit that. Then we hit this. Instead of hitting, if we're greater than, which we will later, but okay, once we get past all that, our call stack says nothing good. Huh, so I didn't do this yet. Alrighty then, we need a renderer. Or a server for data call. Do we even know what the offset is? We should. The offset is some AI generated bullshit thing. Yeah, iCloud Vertex. But this is not the first character. Why is iCloud Vertex 0? This is bad. And it never gets incremented. What is being incremented here? Once this starts, this for loop, something is being incremented. Watch our variables here. Now, so it is vertices added, and the iCloud Vertex is the indexer for what quad, and I vertices added is the indexer for the letter. And this is the amounts that number of vertices for a quad, because there's two triangles, so it's 6. 3 plus 3 equals 6. And it's setting the UV coordinates that are the new ones. So that seems to work perfectly. It should. Now, we may have to resolve later dependencies to the renderer, but we first write this function because I do want to end it, but I don't want to end it. I'll end it just to make my CPU colder, but I should actually keep it warmer, but I don't want to corrupt it. Visual Studio do you want to do code on the fly thing? It's like, no, I don't. Okay, so this, we go here, and void, blah, blah, blah. Since it's already allocated, we can sub-buffer data. To do these things. Should use the blanket to get on or whatever. This, we have to unbind and rebind it for the update to work right or something. Check if there's some error. Could remove this later maybe. We need an offset and a start and all these like parameters. This is the debugging function stuff. Okay. We should know enough values to be able to do this in one little 6-line hit. Alright, we know the size, we know the offset. The offset is vertices added. No, it's not. It's actually I vertex thing. The location is ampersand sign, quad vertices, quad vertex. I'll do that. The size is since it, let's see how it makes it. It allocates 50 characters, I believe. It pushes it on to the GPU. Let's see. So push the VDO gets called. This all this shit. Push it into that array. And I have no idea what happened. Okay, cool. Let's go to the class constructor. I think it has a tip for us. iString length is 50. So we will do iString length times number of attributes. So let's just define iSize. I want it to be as clean as possible. Okay, and then in main, I have to change this text. Let's just do it here for now. We'll send over the shit that changed. Obviously, we can get an OpenGL error here. think this is where I was at. Just like kind of nothing changed, did it? Yeah, I'm sitting there removing breakpoints right now. So it's looping through, updating the characters one by one. Now we need to look at output. Okay, there's no error from OpenGL, because I would have panicked right here. The J key does something. Oh, we already have a function like this that sends it to the GPU. Let's read it. High num floats. Vertices.data. Why is this 3 and 3 blocks? Seems wrong. I guess it had a function, I just wrote another one. Okay, whatever. We could try W, and W changes. Let's just run it, because this just sends everything to the GPU. Okay, that worked. The other one doesn't work. Huh. Okay, we need the other one to work too, I think. Because this just sends the entire buffer, which is a cool way to do it if you've pre-allocated even more than you need. But if you even pre-allocated more than you need, you should have to use subbuffer data, because it's faster and you just update like the first chunk. Oh, this is like garbagey code right here. Why is it so long? How long is this? Not that long. 1,600 lines. Okay. Let's do this. Let's go back to, let's push this to a different offset on the VBO. What the hell? What I'm looking for is this guy. Background full text. So I want it to be over here. Let's put it in the middle of the sprites. This is the test. It's going to get overridden by the other text field. And if I remove the other text field, I might get an error. I saw some other error just pop up, but no, it doesn't. Okay, that worked. But the real thing is, like, does the offset change? It was 0, but 0 causes confusion because it's like, where did it upload it, and did it subbuffer to the right area? If it's 0, you can't tell. It's like the first thing you put onto the thing, so it's 0. And now it should be, yeah, 1,944. Because the size of main vertices has been upped. Okay, so what if we never push this? What would happen? It should display no text, only the background text thing. Okay, good. Now, let's try to solve our little problem here for a little bit. I don't feel like thinking, so let's just send this over to this guy and just ask him. Code in C++, why am I not updating the VBO rights for my text quads? Modify code, just be dumb about it because 1,600 lines, oh, it just didn't paste the last part that I needed to tell it. I vertex times float. So this will be our offset. I quad vertex, so that part was right. This part was wrong, the offset, okay. So what we need, put this in here, put this into here, okay. Times, it was already times size of float. Size equals string length times floats per quad, we have that, times float. Okay, this is what was wrong. No, it was right because it's right here. There's no return 0, there's just return, I guess. I don't know what the difference would be if I did that or that, but whatever. this where it renders it? Like, what the hell? Okay, so the A got messed up, so it is working. The F doesn't get messed up, but the A got messed up. Interesting, okay, why? I'll just indicate it's new. It didn't say to do that, but whatever. It didn't deallocate the VAO though. That was working already, it's just... Let's run this and uncomment it and deprecate it. And then... Yeah, so the A gets corrupted. Which is a cool, like, effect, but whatever. I forget what the reason is. I keep running into this all the time. When using a VBO, stupid video. Do I need this crap or what? Yeah, it's dynamic already, so it's like, why the crap does it not work? Do I need this here or what? I see a problem here. I have an ampersand sign, but I'm not supposed to. What the hell is this? Okay, this might fix it. Alright, that fixed it. But that... Oh, that's funny. Look at the two. The third two. It's the end line, and really, end lines should be handled with expression or something. With a conditional expression, with the evaluation of the next right thing to do. So how would we go about that? So because we don't know that until here, but we have to do it here. Oh no. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is ask this crap to do it for me. And that'll figure it out. Okay, this shit we know. Oh, he wants to do this buffer range thing. This is good. Does should say no. VC Mesa driver OpenGL 2.1, yes, but not 2.0. Motherfucker. I mean, nice thing. Full KMS, fake KMS. So this is where we could look up. Yeah, but this is OpenGL driver for Mesa. I mean, for Raspberry Pi, not for PC. What about PC OpenGL 2.0? That's like PC, like from the garbage can you find. People just throw these away. Yeah, he says no. This works on every PC since 2004. So the way I'm doing it. This works on it is usually faster than basic GeoMap buffer. So this is the key here. We're targeting like fucking every computer on the planet. Not really. Not the ones that people build in their basement because they're electronics. They're insanitous. Okay. Recode this to have end line be followed by characters to blank out the last after character modify and code whatever this shit. To implement blanking out the characters at the end of your actual string, you want to treat any index to be greater than equal to the string length, but the whole allocated buffer chunk space. Yeah, so it's actually overriding the other functionality. The logic branching, I3 string set to 32 space offset indexing. It's out of bounds, variable out of bounds. There is a faster way that we could just mem copy the last part of it. Is GPU sync add a GL buffer later, which at the end of actually syncs the screen code. So if I string length and C is equal to this, so it has to do a precursor check. I quads I index it included a new variable. Yeah. About cleaner code than me, but whatever. They did it wrong. It should be like if the character is fucking it's less than iString length, right? I'll just take note of this. The character's iString length, because iString length already figures out what the new line is. It's behind this. So the else, but the else if is different. So I is greater than this iString length. Then we're inserting 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Yeah, this is right. This already has it. So why does it not work? Else too much text to alloc. Do we ever hit this? Like, what happens here? Something doesn't happen here. This is what happens, okay. I have to go to the bathroom. Oh. I love running over the earphone wires and tripping over them and like breaking the USB parts. Okay, we're like running out of power too. Damn it. Okay. Regular crap. Copies using a safe STR copy. Renders the screen. We don't need to be here. When we press E, I'm just trying to set it to FPS 111, it's string length like 11 or something. Send it to GPU. We're updating these blocks. 5 blocks indexes is being used here. Is it being used over here? Here it's +6. Here it's +6. But here unknown blunt vertices is this variable. And here it's a stupid ass constant. That's always a bug issue. So when this changes, okay, well, like updating for some reason triangle prisms, it'll be different. And this is bad, and this is good, but it's actually the same. So let's see what happens. This should happen for about 12 or 11 characters with STR length. So it gets the STR length, which is 11, from STR length to ISTR length string equals STR length text field. So it goes through and updates every character with its new UV coordinates dynamically in 3D. That looks 2D. That's actually 2D because 3D gets converted to 2D. So it's fun to talk about that. Okay. So then enters a different part of the if statement in the loop. And we're updating to 0. Cool. But we get some garbage on the screen. It doesn't equate to what we wanted to do. So I is 11, I is TR-link is 11 too. At this point, this is where we entered a different block of the code. And vertices added is 72, 78. We're at 13 now. And we're zeroing out what we were supposed to. We don't know because we can't go back into this block. But we could assume so. The vertices added is still being added. Confusing way to say that, but whatever. Okay. So there's 36 each time because there's one quad. Because this times this is 36 or whatever. And it's zeroing it out. What do you know? But when we do subbuffer update, let's say it does all this. Are we going to look through all 50? I could press this another 25 times. It shouldn't be a big deal. We're almost there. Okay. 47, 48, 49, 50. Boom. We hit the update. The offset is right. So the size is, should be right too, yeah, 50 times 6 times the size of float, which is 4, usually. All right. So it sends it to graphics card. That ends that. And we still see this blah, 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 blah. No, it didn't do it right. We see the first triangle did work. But why does the UV coordinates for the second triangle not work? We still see half of I, because that used to be I, because we know that in English alphabet I goes before J, and that's what kind of why I put that there in a sense, because we'd be able to kind of see in memory what we can remember, not what the computer has. It's just like one of those Jedi mind tricks against the coding of computer stuff. Okay. So we know that it didn't update the UV coordinates, and I think that's my fault. Because, okay, there should be 36 of this. And there is. And where did I go wrong with this? Because coordinate number 4, 5 is UV coordinates. No. It's pulling out CH. And this is where the error is. It's right here. Oh no, this is the wrong part of the if statement. So else, it's just 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Why is 5 I type? Something is making me really confused. What it is it's making me lazy, but we need to just ask this in a different sense. We could ask the same one. It's doing the same thing out here. No, it's not. Why is else if not zeroing out the text after the new line in this code. Okay, with gem size. Oh, that makes sense. The jump size in your main character loop, you have 6 vertex definitions, but you only increment vertex scattered by vertex attributes, which is 6. Once at the bottom, this works by accident for the first block, but because you are multiplying vertices added times number of vertices in your index map, you're actually skipping massive chunks in the array. A logic branch increment. If else blanking out block, you're only incrementing vertices by vertex attributes once, but you are trying to fill 36 floats of data, which is a quad. The update versus the update mismatch. Update function declares CPU data, but doesn't actually call a separate function for that. Yeah, I know that. Okay. Floats per quad. So we have a little mismatch in our index update. Yeah, because we could change the type in a different VDO and just like throw it away like that too. There's different little techniques. That way we don't send as much to the GPU. We just send one float instead of 6. What the hell was he talking about? need to multiply this by 6 because there's 6 vertices. That's the number of attributes, but we never multiply by the number of vertices. So 50 divided by 6 is around 10. That's why it looks like it updates right. But the thing is, it's still updating the other characters. Like, what the hell? How is that working? That would be obvious. But maybe there's 2 more characters that have endline. Let's just press E and see what happens. Okay, that looks right. Okay. We don't seem to be crashing. But we do get a lag spike when we press 2 or press 1. We did get a lag spike, now we don't. Maybe it's, no, we do get lag spikes when we press 2. They're updating the whole thing. Okay. Let's add some more text. We did a little bit of fixing here. So we have 2 different ways of updating the screen. But that's the test. It's like if I put 2 fields in front of each other, update the other field's text too, and just see if the buffer is like overriding it. It'll be fine because we're only really overriding real buffers, but we get to see if it's going too far, if our math is right. So let's search for field text 1, make a field text 2. So this is a label, basically. This is a coding of a plain Windows label or text label, and we are doing it by hand. 2 more of these. We'll allocate some stuff. Like when this allocates, it creates a text of that stuff. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, exclamation mark, $, pound sign, $, percent sign, up caret, and sign. I'm sure to take up 50 characters, really type 3000 for the shader, and some dummy UV coordinates that semi-array. It has a position, a height, a width, a position, X, and a Y. Right? And it loads in a text font class. We could actually use this as a global. There's a different style of programming, but whatever. Okay, so we pass in that global that we made. And we continue. We've created that. Now we need to just push it to VBO. Let's push it to VBO right after text 1. And for text 3, before we push it to VBO, we won't update it, but we will set it. Need this to avoid the stupid warning thing. And we will say, I love you. Okay. What else can we say? Hello, PC to Android cached. That's like, so last year. We could say memory allocation failed, but that would just confuse us. Alright, let's just run this. And then we'll worry about changing its position. We'll just change the Y position to look under, and then the X position later to look a little bit. Okay, yeah, this is how it's supposed to look. I love you. It's really hard to read that. The other part we don't have yet is colors. colors. I have it implemented on the other one, so I can implement it here too. The way you do that, you pass them in as the other attributes. So we may need to create more attributes here. But we really need to go back to the other project and fix that. So let's do our minimum best job to make this as clean as possible. So let's set the position. Before we push the video, set text. That's all we have. We don't have a set position. Position X is equal to, what's the default? Minus 99. Alright, so let's set it to minus 90, minus 0.90, I mean. And Y position, what was the default? 0.25, so let's set it to something higher. Same thing for field 3. Before we or push it to the thing, I'll just do some copy paste and Control V, Control C real quick. And we'll just change only the